who gets more points. Okay. Game on then. So I have to do a bit of maths during the race. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's great to be here for privileged to be commentating this great race, and I'm very excited to see how this will turn out. Obviously, the best of both leagues coming together this evening, so I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm sure it's going to be entertaining, especially on this track. Yeah, just got a minor problem here. We with the audio because I'm on PlayStation and you're on Discord, so could be a so just mean you can't be heard on the stream. Yeah, mildly annoying. So we'll try and get that fixed if we can. Otherwise, might have to. I have no idea, to be honest. Yeah. All right. So FRT Jordan on a flying lap for OPSL here, and he's gone a little bit wide into the first corner there as he kicks us off this evening, and we'll see what OPSL has got in terms of pace compared to ORL. OPSL in the blue as he invalidates there on that occasion, and ORL in the black if you weren't already aware. And we'll move on to Lee the G here, who's just making his way through the first sector. And just keeps it in the track limits there, taking it a little bit cautiously on his initial lap here, just trying to get a first lap in, but he does invalidate at the same spot, so we've had two drivers invalidate there, so we'll move on to Zinc here, who's just entering Sector 2 here, had a little bit of a snap on the exit of the previous corner, and now making his way through Sector 2 now down the straight. DRS coming open now. And we will see what time Zinc can come up with here. Purple through the second sector, probably because there's no lap times on the board yet. And just trying to hold it all together for the initial lap at the start of the session here. Zinc making his way through the final corner here and gets to the inside nicely. Nice exit now, just the run to the line, and we'll see what the opening time will be for the session. And it is a 1:29.3 set by OPSL, followed by Sleppy with a 1:34.2, and Riley with a 1:29.6. So Zinc still the best lap time on the cards at the moment. As we have a look to Skits here, just making his way through the second sector. ORL Div 1 driver for Ferrari here, and I believe up there in the championship, but just cut the track there, and that won't count for his lap as Toto now goes fastest by about a second. Wolf sneaks up into second position, and now Al Pacino is into first as well with a 128.1, and Skits has retired just before the final corner. That's an unusual spot. We'll try and see what's happened. Oh, the ghosting was on. I was tricked by the screen there, but Skits is out. So we have a look through the order at the moment. Vipermon down in 8th, Spark 7th, Riley 6th, who've just set laps. So not many OPSL drivers have set a lap yet, but quite a few ORL drivers have, as we look at Chris F1 here making his way through the first sector. And takes the first couple corners nicely here, making his way through and gets past that corner safely. A little bit more on the cautious side, as most of the drivers are for their first lap, especially in Saudi Arabia. Very high risk of DNFing in qualifying. And it's a purple first sector for Chris F1 here for OPSL, making his way through. And nice livery the OPSL have got there with a bit of purple and blue there, and now making his way through the straight here. DRS opens up once again, and we will see what time he can come up with another purple as he makes his way through. Nicely done there, good exit. And now the final DRS zone on the back straight. Got a bit of traffic to manoeuvre through here. Keeps it to the inside towards the final corner here, and there's a retirement, and that is one of the OPSL drivers, FRT ZC15, I believe. And here goes Chris F1 to the line. What time will he put up? It's a 128.9, puts him into 6th for the moment. Okay, let me just I'll just have to go away from the racing for a moment. Yeah, might have to. I don't think there's any setting to fix it, so I might have to go into a different party. All right. So unfortunately, a bit of technical difficulties, but we're back here. 8 minutes remaining in qualifying. Al Pacino still holding the fastest lap time of 1:28.1, and it's an ORL, all ORL top three at this stage, with the highest OPSL drivers Wolf and Quaz Quacker at this stage. Cloxon with a sixth position, 1:28.9. And we'll have a look as FRT Jordan sets the fastest lap in the meantime. That was his first lap of the session. And we'll have a look at SFR Piastri, the final driver, still in the session to not set a lap time, making his way through the second sector. That looked like a bit of a tap on the wall there. Big cut through the track, and that will be invalidated. And we'll move over to Sleppy for ORL here, making his way through the first sector. A little bit slow and steady here. And I think, I'm not sure if this is a hot lap or not, it doesn't look to be. One bit off the pace there. Vipermon's on the medium tyres, interestingly enough. Not sure exactly why. There's Al Pacino goes back into first position. We'll have a look at Spark for ORL in 12th at the moment, making his way through the second sector. DRS now open, yellow flags everywhere, and Spark comes off the throttle there. So not sure what's happened on that occasion. But we'll look back now to see Chris F1 for OPSL. Currently in 10th position with a 1:28.9. Goes wide. Doesn't invalidate though. And now gets through, just scrapes through safely there on that occasion. And goes slightly up on his previous time here. So definitely could be a competitive advantage here going through the second sector. He's got a line of 3 OPSL teammates in front of him at this stage, so pretty competitive from ORL, looking to be on top at this stage, but obviously plenty of time remaining as SFR Piastri retires from the session. And we will see now Chris F1 go up 2/10 on his time. And now going through the final sector, 6 minutes remaining in this qualifying here. So most drivers now coming back into the pits before going out one final time. Here goes Chris F1 through the final corner. We'll see how high this will propel him. It's a couple tenths up at the moment, and only 8 tenths separate 4th and 10th. So we'll see what happens here. He goes up to 6 with a 1:28.5. Very impressive lap there from Chris F1. And we'll have a look to see if there's any other drivers out on the track, but I don't believe so at this stage, as everyone will now come back in before setting their final laps of the session. So Al Pacino at this stage for ORL has the fastest lap time, only just over FRT Jordan by just under a tenth. FVR Riley, 2/10 behind that. Toto, another 4/10 behind there. So ORL with occupying 4 of the top 5 positions, 3 DNFs in qualifying. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these final laps will stack up. It's about even in the top 10 though, 5 each for both both leagues. So it should be a very competitive race. Obviously anything can happen. Expecting a little bit of chaos. Vipermon still trundling around on those medium tyres, maybe just getting a feel for how the track's going to play out this evening. And goes very wide there, cuts the track, maybe just wanting to get back into the pits in time. And it will be interesting to see the final hot laps. We'll look out for FRT Jordan and Al Pacino in particular for that battle for pole position. And we'll see if FVR Riley can get stick a lap up there as well. Plenty of opportunities still available here for both leagues. And as I said, looks to be ORL on top at this stage, but you never know, as FVR Riley will come out for ORL here, and we will see what he can do for his final lap, getting out nice and early. And should be an interesting finish to qualifying here. Mon finally comes back into the pits to put on some soft tyres and get another hot lap underway. FVR Riley now going through the final corner, and we'll go on board here with 3 minutes remaining in the qualifying session and see what kind of time he can come up with for the ORL team. Can he challenge Al Pacino's pole position time? I need to improve by just over 2/10 as he enters into the first chicane. Has to keep it to the inside to avoid the car coming out of the pits, but avoids invalidation there. And up to this turn 3, he can brake quite late and get away with it, and he does. Just needs to keep it steady through here. Very easy to lose it, but he doesn't on that occasion. Oh, he's invalidated on that occasion. Luckily, still time left to get around for another lap for Riley. But he was looking all right to start that lap, so will be a little bit disappointing. 2.5 minutes remain in the session. I believe Wilco might be on a lap, and he is, so making his way into Sector 2, round the long left-hander. Car just has to avoid touching the wall. He scraped it a little bit there. Not sure if that was tactical to gain some time, but goes through the second sector now. Fast right-hander back to the left, and he's looking pretty smooth through this section. He's got 2 cars blocking him at this stage. A little bit of a tow given by his OPSL teammate, and now coming through he's got a purple second sector here. Just needs to keep it in the track, and he does. Wilco looking very solid on this lap. 14th position at the moment, separated by 2 seconds from the leader, but looking to make big gains here on this lap. 1:50 remaining as he makes his way through the final corner. Does that nicely. Good exit. DRS open all the way to the line. And what's Wilco going to come up with on this occasion? It will be a 1:29.1, good enough for 11th position. Might have wanted a little bit more lap time there, but couldn't quite get it. As now Riley goes out for his second lap with 1:20 remaining, and this will be his final opportunity to get a front row position for ORL. And off he goes on his lap here. He looked very solid through the first sector last time. We'll see if he can match that. Oh, he's just tapped the wall, and that has ruined his lap. So that's qualifying over for Riley, you would have thought. Don't think he can get back around in time. But now we look towards FRT Jordan, who's about to begin his final flying lap. And Al Pacino will be behind as well. Toto's on a lap as well at this stage, but down on his time. So we'll look at the lead OPSL driver, FRT Jordan. 45 seconds remaining qualifying here. And crosses the line going through the first sector. And does pretty well for that chicane. ISO and Rhino retires. He won't improve on 12th position as FRT Jordan continues here. Is it going to be good enough to get pole position? Zinc retires in 8th as well. Oh, he spun! And that's a big damage for FRT Jordan. And that is qualifying over. Second is going to be the best that he will have in this session. Sleppy retires as well in the meantime. Toto trying to improve. He's just down through the second sector though. Can he make up some time through the final corner to challenge for pole position at the moment? Al Pacino looks to have it on lock. But here we go. All the way to the line. Toto, can he get it? He goes 4th. He improves, but not by enough. Al Pacino now pretty safe in pole position unless Cloxon can challenge it, or maybe Chris F1, who's improved by 2/10 in the first sector. Cloxon invalidates though and spins around violently. And that's session over for him as well. Mickey retires. And we'll see Lee the G is up 2/10 as well. But we'll have a look at Chris F1 now as he makes his way through the second sector. Can he cause any challenge to the ORL leaders at the moment? Quaz Quacker went up to 5th position there. And only just under a 10th up on his time here. We'll get a little bit of slipstream from his teammate, but will it be enough to propel him into a higher position? We will see. Coming now into the final corner, Chris F1. And he's broken a little bit late, but it works out as Al Pacino doesn't improve on his lap time. Here goes Chris F1. What can he come up with to end this qualifying session? It's a 1:28.3, an improvement by 1 position over Cloxon. And Lee the G's invalidated, so that will be all for qualifying. And ORL, not domination. It was a domination initially, but a good little comeback by OPSL at the end. But it looks to be advantage ORL in this qualifying. Good start to what will be an exciting race here in Saudi Arabia. Al Pacino on pole position with a 127.5, and FRT Jordan also 127.5 in second position. So it'll be interesting to see the tactics and the gamesmanship. It's 3 out of the top 4 ORL, so might be a few tactics there, but who knows what's going to happen here. ORL will be looking to get another victory. They won the previous ORL versus OPSL as well. OPSL looking for redemption this evening in Saudi Arabia. Plenty to look forward to here this evening. Al Pacino takes pole position. All right, just about set to go here for the big race here, ORL versus OPSL. Welcome one and all to the stream this evening. Hope you are looking forward to this big event here, league versus league, pride on the line, and it will be sure to be plenty of action in the race this evening, I can assure you of that. So, just about ready to get the formation lap underway here. We've got the lights on here. Might be starting already, and it's lights out, I believe, and away we go. All right. Al Pacino gets a very solid start, followed by Jordan here, and Riley's already up on the inside and tries to push past, and there's a bit of carnage at the back there, and 2, I believe, OPSL drivers off in the first corner there. Very slow through the start there was Zink and Wilco, and Toto spun around as well. That's big damage, and I believe that's a virtual safety car already, and Skits has a penalty. Wilco's out of the session, and absolute carnage through the first lap here, and that is a full safety car there. So unbelievable start. That caught me by surprise. Spark already up 6 places for ORL. ZC15 up 9 places. So safety car out, and SFR Piastri up 8 as well. So not a great start there for OPSL. Al Pacino maintains his lead. Jordan in second. But absolutely unbelievable start there. And there's a retirement from FRT Z15. He just lost it in the wall, it looks like there. And seconds. So safety car out on lap 1. Looks to be some lag going on. A couple people leaving the session here. Not sure if there's a restart going on. It looks that way. Alright, yep, so we are going to be doing a restart here. So just bear with us for a moment. I'll just pause the stream until we get back in the lobby, so we'll be back shortly. Alright, welcome back to the ORL stream of the ORL vs OPSL race this evening. Just about to get underway. Bit of fire in the Discord chat at the moment, so there could be a bit of passion in this race here as it restarts. ORL and OPSL. A few guys from ORL seem to be a bit unhappy that the race has restarted, considering the favourable start that the ORL drivers got. But that's how it goes sometimes. So we will get underway shortly once everything is sorted out, and that should be all right relatively soon. "18 drivers in, just looking for the one more now. We should be ready to go." All right, finally, we are ready to go once again. As we get back, we've lost one driver, so I believe it's a 9-on-9 now between ORL and OPSL. All right, we'll see if there's any difference in strategy on the second start this time. As we know, ORL still with that very solid qualifying session over OPSL. Bit of tensions boiling over in the Discord prior to this restart, so we wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of action and a bit of aggressive racing, which is hopefully it'll all remain friendly and healthy, but we will see what happens on the restart here as we're just about to get underway once again here in Saudi Arabia. Once the strategies are selected, then we'll be ready to go for what should be a very exciting 25 laps of racing here, or 26 laps, whichever one that is. And we'll see. And we'll see who comes out on top. Just about to get ready and begin. And the lights are coming on here. And we are underway once again in Saudi Arabia. Great start for Al Pacino once again. Terrible start for Jordan, and Toto and Riley are looking to get past. There's a spin for Jordan, and his round, he's been hit by, I'm not sure who it was. He has dropped all the way down to the back of the order. And terrible start for OPSL. And Lee the G gets past Quaz Cracker as well. Great move there by him as Wilco's down to the last position. And ORL now occupying the top three positions as Quaz Cracker now hounds Lee the G here, who's going wide at almost every corner. Goes wide once again. Quaz Cracker now might have a run on him late here. Is he going to go for it? No, stays behind on this occasion as Wolf might have had a bit of an incident. He gets past Vipermon. Vipermon's dropped a couple places, yellow flag and a virtual safety car. So not exactly sure what's happened there, but Wolf just manages to stay, or his clock's in ahead, not 100% sure, but perfect start for ORL there. They'll be very pleased with how that's gone. ZC15 up 9 places impressively. Jordan started on the front row, but he's down 11 places into 13th with that spin. I'm not sure who made contact with him. I believe it was an ORL driver. But, there's a spin for FRT ZC15. I'm not sure if he has damage. He was one of the big gainers in at the start. Looks like it was just a spin as racing is now underway once again. And Quaz Quacker right on the back of Lee the G here as Sparks and Jordan are exchanging places. Can Quaz Quacker get past the slipstream, just carrying Lee the G to remain in front as Wolf comes into the pits, and Quaz Quacker has to take avoiding action there. That was very close indeed there, and Lee the G just gets a little bit of a buffer, and in fact he's right on the back of Chris F1 here, who had quite a good qualifying and is in fact the only OPSL driver to be in the top 5 at this stage. Lee the G on the medium tyres here now, closely following as Chris goes a little bit wide there and just manages to hang on, and I believe there'll be a few exceeding track limit penalties very quickly by the rapid rate in which penalties are being, or corner cutting has been done, as 4 drivers in the pits, 3 of them for OPSL. Not the start they were hoping for. Skits has dropped back a bit as well as we look to the lead, and ORL just have everything under control at this stage. And we'll have a look at the tyres. So everyone on the mediums except for ZC15, Wilco And obviously the pitters, as Quazquack is now caught back up to Lee the G. He seems to have a bit more pace. Lee the G not letting him get through, and Quazquacker goes into the wall once again. I'm not sure if he's picked up damage from that. It doesn't look like it, but his teammate Zinc gets through into 6th position to see if he can have a run on Lee the G. And there's a yellow flag, SFR Piastri. Not sure what's happened there. And Wilco back up into 12th after dropping to last position. He's catching ZC15 as well, who I believe had a spin under the virtual safety car. And we'll look back up to Lee the G here, who seems to be the centre of attention at this stage as the field spreads out. We're on lap 3 of 25 here, as Lee the G is now just 5/10 back from Chris F1. Zig not that far behind either. Quazquacker, who just lost a position to him, is going to try and get that position back. We'll see how aggressive he gets as FRT Jordan his race goes from bad to worse, as Cloxon is going slowly and has had a spin, it looks like, and that's a virtual safety car. ZC15 might have been involved as well. So not a great start for the OPSL drivers. As we can see, 7 out of the top 10 are ORL, including all of the podium places at this stage. So couldn't be better for ORL at this stage, but still a long way to go in this race, as we know. Lee the G getting close. Spark is close to Vipermon as well. That's a Div 2 battle reignited in ORL. They've had a lot of battling over their races. So we'll see if there's a bit of fireworks there as well. A bit of pride on the line, as mentioned before. A bit of a showcase of skill here tonight, as well as a competition to put your name out there with a good race. And that's a drive-through penalty for Chris F1 as the safety car comes in. Lee the G closing up on Chris F1, who has to come into the pits to serve that drive-through. And now it's an all ORL top 4 as Zinc and Quazquack are getting pretty close. Quaz can't get past on that occasion, and Vipon and Spark move through into 7th and 8th as a few drivers have to come into the pits, and Wilco up into 9th with a good little comeback drive there on his part. So, interesting start here to the race. ORL looking very good at this stage. Quazquacker looking to have a little bit more pace than Zinc, as he was keeping up pace with Lee the G before. And we got further back down the field, Mickey catching up quite quickly to SNF Wolf here. Both these drivers are also in ORL, but driving for OPSL this evening. And I haven't mentioned Sleppy, who's dropped down to last. Must have had an incident early on, as Mickey was in a spin there, but just caught it before it turned into the wall there. And we'll have a look back up the field here as Quazquacker now continuing to stay on the back of Zinc here. And the ORL drivers starting to run away from these two at the moment, so they need to get it figured out if they want any chance to pick up some good points here. And Quazquacker now getting closer than he's ever been to Zinc on the past few laps here, and looks to have a good exit out of the corner. The DRS will be open. Will he use some of his ERS to try and blast past? He's got the slipstream here, and will he manage to get through on this occasion? Not quite. Just sticks behind Zinc at this stage as Jordan gets past Wilco. That looked to be a coordinated move as FRT is out of the session, and we'll see what happened. He looks like he's just lost it into Sector 2 there. Very easy place to do it. No safety car, it looks though, as Quazquacker now really close to Zinc on this occasion. Only 3/10 the difference through Sector 1, and Lee the G starting to pull away a little bit, 2-second gap, and the leaders are just really holding firm here for ORL, just having really nice races, staying out of trouble, and not making any mistakes whatsoever at this stage. So Quazquacker now just clips the wall on the inside, should be alright though, and makes his way through the second sector, still behind Zinc, who looks to be a little bit slower in pace, but Quazquacker can't quite get through as a yellow flag. One of the OPSL drivers in the first sector. That's a virtual safety car once again Not too sure what's happened there. Maybe a bit of damage for one of the drivers low down the order, but yeah, that is unfortunate, and it just keeps going from bad to worse for OPSL tonight, as the ORL drivers accompany the top 4 positions. So, and Vipermon and Spark in 7th and 8th looking to catch the OPSL drivers in front. And we're going to need to see some sort of rally from the team of OPSL here to get some competitiveness back into the race here. And 5th and 6th, Zink and Quaz Quacker look to be the ones to do it. And we look towards the front. Al Pacino's driven a beautiful race so far. Just has a 3-second lead over Riley. And Toto, who has picked up a penalty, but he's well clear of Lever G as well in 4th. Looks like the virtual safety car will be ending momentarily here. And Spark gets a drive-through. I think 2 cars got a drive-through from that. Not quite sure what the other one was, but that is a unfortunate error from Spark there in 8th position, so he'll have to serve that drive-through in the next couple of laps. And we're back racing underway once again. Quaz Quacker getting ever closer to Zink. Still not managing a way through at the moment. And looks to be a yellow flag. Another OPSL driver's off there. I think it's Wolf, who's just been passed by Skits. And we'll have a look here. Wilco's still hanging on to the back of Jordan, who he let through earlier. So the top 9 drivers all on medium tyres. Wilco started on the hards in 10th. And Chris F1 started on the mediums but had a drive-through. And everyone from Skits down is on the hard tyres. They've already pitted, and Spark now, unfortunately, has to serve that drive-through, which does give OPSL another point-scoring position. And there's a yellow once again. I believe it might be Toto, I'm not sure. Oh, not Toto, Wolf. And Al Pacino's picked up a penalty as well, the leader. So FBR Riley just needs to remain in that. And Wolf has retired from the session as well. Could that bring out a safety car? Yes, it does. And that means the drivers with penalties will be brought back closer to the field. Al Pacino and Toto. And we'll see what movements happen around the pit stops. 6-lap-old mediums. Is it too early to pit onto the hards? Will anyone take the gamble? I think OPSL have less to lose here, so maybe a couple of their drivers will come into the pits and try and make a gamble here. But we'll see what happens as we're watching the battle between Zink and Quaz Quacker here. And we'll see who comes into the pits. Will Al Pacino come into the pits? He's just rounding the final corner here now. And we'll see what he decides to do. Is it going to be a pit stop? Yes, it is for the leader. And will it be for Riley? Yes, it will. Toto, I think they're all going to come in here. And so does Lever G. So no one's staying out, it seems. No one taking the gamble. And we will see everyone on fresh tyres to restart the race. It's going to be exciting, as I believe FRT Jordan might have overtaken Vipermon in the pits there. Wilco is the only driver to stay out. He started on the hard, so that makes the most sense, and he will inherit second place in this race. So that is actually quite crucial to prevent the ORL train at the front. And Wilco can do a bit of strategic defending to help his teammates out a little bit maybe as well. Spark comes into the pits as well. So now all of the top 12, besides Wilco, will be on new hard tyres. And we'll see how long they will last. And the back four have already pitted for hard tyres, but they will be used. So we'll see if they're able to keep up with the pack. But this safety car definitely brings a few drivers that might have been out of it back into the race. So Al Pacino will be looking in his mirrors and finding that it's an OPSL driver behind him. So he's going to have to be a bit careful to not make any mistakes. And we've got ORL 3rd, 4th and 5th before we have OPSL 6th, 7th and 8th. And then Vipermon 9th and Chris F1 10th. So with 5 drivers each in the top 10, this could change at any moment. With that order could flip right off the restart. There could be an incident. So ORL definitely not safe at this moment. And so they're going to have to be very careful on the restart to make sure they're not getting in each other's way. Late on, Al Pacino has driven a perfect race so far, but has picked up a penalty. Will it cost him later on? We will find out. But fantastic start here for RL. Just a question of can they finish it off through these last 17 laps? Will the hards be able to make it? There'll be a bit of time management throughout the field. But we'll see who can manage their tyres the best towards the end. And if there's some late drama with the safety car potentially. So we'll have one more lap of safety car here, I believe, as the rear of the field catch up. And we'll restart on lap 10, which should be plenty of time for the drivers to see out that hard stint. And we'll assume OPSL are going to be very attacking on the restart, trying to make some of those places up. And all of a sudden, if they gain a couple of places, the situation could swing in favour of OPSL. As Sleppy goes back into the pits here to get rid of his used hard tyres. He's going to put on some mediums, so they won't last him the end of the race. He's going to have to pit once again. So interesting decision there from Sleppy. And Al Pacino will lead us away at the end of this lap. So Wilco has a big role to play here in this restart. And we'll see what defensive tactics he'll come up with. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens on this restart. Riley will be nipping at his heels, trying to get through, as Skits has, I believe, illegally overtaken a couple cars there. And we're just waiting for Sleppy to catch back up to the field here. Under the lights here in Saudi Arabia. Skid's still exchanging places with Spark as we just about reach the final sector. Should be getting the message that the safety car will come in at the end of this lap. And we do. So, Al Pacino. Now the race is back on. It looked to just be stalling a little bit. But now the pressure is on ORL here to keep their nerve and get a good restart here. No one with serious penalties at this stage. Toto was 6 seconds though, which could be major. And now Al Pacino will go into the final corner and he'll accelerate. Will he continue all the way to the line? He doesn't have to. There's a massive gap from 4th to 5th. Lever G's opened up as Al Pacino gets us underway. And now Wilco and Al Pacino weaving to warm those tyres up. Wilco catching up into the first corner. Will he make a move? No, not quite. As Leader G has held up a couple OPSL cars. And down the inside goes Jordan. He can't quite get through. Wheel to wheel the 2 OPSL cars. And there's another one out the back as well. Quaz Quacker. And Jordan gets through. Zinc just behind as well. And Quaz Quacker behind those as Chris gets past Cloxon. In the meantime, Quaz with a great exit, but he's going to have to lift off the throttle as he just has to hold back. There's 3 OPSL cars being held up by Leader G here, who's creating a massive gap from the leaders. And we move up to the front as Riley tries to make a move on Wilco straight away, who's just holding them up at this stage. Riley trying to get down the inside. Now switch back past, he can't. And Leader G might have had an incident, or he gets passed by Jordan there. And he's still there right on the back, but it looks like he has been passed there on that occasion. We'll look back up to see Riley getting past Wilco. Can he hang on for the move? Wilco's going to be defending with all his might here. but I don't think he's going to be able to defend Riley as they almost both spin there. Bad exit for Wilco. Toto has a chance to get through, but closing the door is Wilco, and Toto gets through. Aggressive racing, but ORL get through. Wilco did all he could, but I believe, as Toto might have a move on his teammate, and Riley going down the inside. Riley leaves in the space. Wilco's still there as well. And now it's wheel to wheel between Wilco and Toto. Who's going to come out on top here? Wilco using all the ERS he has to try and keep that podium place for OPSL. He breaks late around the outside as he got it. It looks like, they're both wheel to wheel here. Toto might run out of space, and he does. Wilco just stays ahead. Incredible defending here from Wilco, and a lot of heart and pride in that defense there. And he's going to keep trying until he can get OPSL back into this race. Fantastic defending there, and great racing by the three of them. Very clean in the end. Lee the G and FRT Jordan's been released. He started on the front row. Will he have the pace to catch up as Toto is now on the back of Wilco once again? Will Wilco be able to continue his staunch defence on third place here? Toto behind him with 6 seconds of penalties. He's going to be desperate to get through. Can he get through on this occasion? There's a yellow flag out the back. I believe it's Mickey that's gone off as Toto gets ever closer down this straight. Does he have the pace to get through? He's going to get right up to the back, but not close enough to make a move there. And just holds back, and he's going to use the main straight as Quacker gets past Zinc. And finally, he's been behind him for a long time. He's up into 7th now. And the race starting to even up a little bit as Toto goes around the outside, gets the move done before the final quarter. Wilco is going to stay in there, though, and keep his car and try and run him out of road. He's pushing him against the wall practically, but Toto gets through anyway. Great defence from Wilco, but Toto has the pace and the tyres. Wilco's going to come back, though, into the first quarter. Can he make a move for OPSL? He's going to go down the inside, try and stick around the outside, but Toto's going to run him out of road, and he has to take avoiding action. He was going to push him into the wall there, and Toto just hangs on. And will that be hanging on for a much longer period of time as Jordan has now caught up to Wilco, and Jordan might have a little bit more pace than Wilco does, so I wouldn't be surprised if Wilco lets him through into 4th place to chase after Toto. 3 places lost for Jordan in this race. Wilco up 9, but he's going to have to pit as he does let through Jordan. Very tactical stuff there. Now Jordan can launch an attack on Toto, who would have had to use a bit of tyres and ERS to make that move. So very strategic there from Wilco. Has he helped his team out big time? As Lee the G is now closing up on him as well, and Quacker. Everyone down to 11th is within DRS range of each other. And it's been fantastic to watch here. We'll see if Jordan can make a move on Toto. He's already within the 1 second mark. And Toto's tyres would have taken a little bit of a beating. So we'll see if Jordan, on those new tyres, can scrape his way through down the main straight here as we make our way through the final corner. Al Pacino and Riley have both pulled away in 1 and 2 as we hit half distance in this race. And now Jordan, 7/10 back on Toto. Toto has no DRS. He probably won't get past on this straight, but hopefully he's going to make up a fair bit of time here and join him in battle, as there's a yellow flag as well. I believe it's Mickey once again, and that's a virtual safety car on this occasion, unfortunately. So that neutralises it once again here. And it's been fantastic little battle between the top 3 there. Wilco putting on an absolute show for us. And we'll see if Jordan can continue it. So back to 1, 2 and 3 for ORL here. They've locked out the podium, but Jordan has a chance to take that feat away from ORL here. Jordan and Toto both have 6 seconds each, so it's even Stevens between them two. And Al Pacino just has 3 seconds on Riley, but he has a penalty as well, so they're close when it comes to net position. And I believe Mickey is coming into the pits. Yes, he is, as the race is underway and DRS is back online. Jordan dropped a little bit of time there, so he's 1.4 behind Toto now. Riley's caught up a bit to Al Pacino in the lead as well. And Lee the G is right on the back of Wilco as well. Wilco's tyres might be finally starting to wear here. And Lee the G, who was previously in 4th, is going to try and make a position back up here. Has a look around the outside, not quite on this occasion. He's going to come into the final corner, thought about it, but thought better as Cloxon gets past on Zinc. Lee the G now will have the DRS advantage. Sparks lost a few places there. And this shouldn't be too difficult for Lee the G, but Wilco does have the DRS as well. He's going to be defending hard. Lee the G goes to the inside, breaks late. Wilco completely cuts him off and bumped around by Lee the G there. Lee the G gets a penalty, and Wilco's nearly driven him into the fence there. In his defence of Lee the G, but he somehow just got away through, and Wilco's not going to let up here. He's going to try and pressure him into a mistake, but very aggressive from Wilco and Lee the G. Lee the G not backing out, not scared of the tactics that Wilco is using on track here, as Quaz Quacker is catching up to those as well, and Jordan now is just 6/10 behind Toto, hunting that final podium place down. And we'll see what will happen between the OPSL and the ORL driver. Nice little comeback race from Cloxon as well, into 8th position. He was a fair way back earlier on. And we'll see when Wilco has to pit. I'm sure it will be very soon as well, as Jordan and Toto goes a bit wide. This opens the door here for Jordan, and he is catching right up. He'll have the DRS open here. Down the back straight into the final corner. Is he going to make a move into this corner, or is he going to wait for the main straight here? He's going to stick behind for the moment. He's very close and should be able to get past with that DRS advantage. We'll go on board with him here. Toto almost run out of ARS, and now Jordan moving to the outside. Can Toto defend the inside line here? I don't think so. Jordan's absolutely blasted through into 3rd position, but he broke a little bit late there, and Toto might still have the door open for him, but not on this occasion, as Jordan makes his way into 3rd position and only 1 spot away from where he started this race. And we'll see how much he can catch up to the front two. As we move back here, Wilco is not letting up on Lee the G, and Quaz Quacker very close behind as well. Good little 3-car battle here that we're seeing, and a yellow flag as well, as that's Toto that's off. And that's a big moment in this race. And look at all the cars that are closing up on each other here as well. There's about 5-6 cars here, all within a second. And Cloxon and Quacker as well, who's very close. And Wilco is getting very close to Lee the G as well. This is going to be a very interesting battle here, as Wilco now only 2/10 behind. He's using absolutely everything, throwing it all at Lee the G, who's now gone up to 4th. And Toto's now all the way down in 14th, so he's lost his podium position. But Wilco is fighting for his life here. Quaz Quacker close behind, 2/10, 3/10 now, and Cloxon really close also. 4 cars getting really close to each other here. The DRS is open. Quaz might make a move on Wilco here. Will Wilco put up much of a defence? I'm not sure, but he might have a move himself on Lee the G. He's going to go around the outside, and he's in front when they come into the braking zone. Can he keep it ahead? It looks like it. Quaz Quacker getting really interested as well. Look at them. They're so close together, almost 3 wide down the straight. Lee the G has DRS. They're almost bumping each other. Wilco and Lee the G. Wilco's just keeping up with him here. Lee the G stays ahead, but late braking from Wilco. Can he get through? He's been pushed off, but he's going to take the lead. He's got a 5-second penalty and probably an illegal overtake as well, you'd think. And he has to let him through, but there's damage. Massive damage. And Quaz Quacker's been hit, and Cloxon gets through unscathed somehow. But Wilco and Quaz Quacker are the big losses in that situation. I think a little bit of damage for Lee the G. Yes, there is. But a very interesting, obviously a bit of toxicity going on here as Vipermon now. Vipermon's in the race as well. He gets past 2 cars in one straight. Vipermon's absolutely licking his lips at the moment and thinking, I like to get a piece of this action. And now he's up into 6th position, and it's game on here at Saudi Arabia. Zinc now closing up on Cloxon, and Cloxon has made his way up to 4th position through the carnage here. Zinc now 2/10 behind, as Quacker and Wilco now down in 8th and 9th, and Skit's made his way up to 10th, who's right alongside Wilco, and Quacker's right alongside Lee the G once again, and the battle resumes here between these drivers for a low position this time though. Here goes Quacker, trying to get through. Skits gets past Wilco pretty cleanly, and now Quacker wheel to wheel with Lee the G. Will he be able to make it stick down the back straight here? Will Lee the G defend? He's got damage, but he's going to have a go for it. He fakes it Another penalty for Al Pacino. Down the inside goes Skits there as well. His teammate, but Lee the G just gets back through. Wilco watching for the back, and Quaz Quacker comes into the pits. And now Lee the G just holding off ISO Skits here. But here goes Wilco once again down the outside, and Lee the G stopped on the track, and he cuts the chicane, and now he could end up wheel to wheel with Wilco, and Skits is going very slowly here. Wilco's back in the race, and he goes down the inside, but he's caused massive damage for himself, and he's lost his front wing, and I'm not sure who else has got damage there. I believe Lee the G might have picked up even more damage. Yep, he's lost his front ring, and that's another virtual safety car. Can you believe what's going on here in Saudi Arabia? This is unbelievable stuff. Wilco causing absolute fireworks, as we predicted. And Riley is, in the meantime, 6 seconds behind Al Pacino, who has 6 seconds worth of penalties. So that could be close, but he's getting caught up by FRT Jordan, who's only 5 seconds back. Vipermon in 6th place had a very nice drive, and Skits is up 10 places thanks to a bit of carnage. And Lee the G will have to pit, you'd assume, so Sleppy will be up into 8th very shortly, and the racing has gotten underway, and Sleppy's right alongside Lee the G here. Don't be fooled by the livery. He is an ORL driver, and almost sneaks through there on Lee the G. He has got no front wing. This shouldn't be too difficult. And Chris F1 is looking to get in on this action as well. They're both going to go either side of Lee the G here. And Chris gets past Sleppy, but there's a bit of contact. Sleppy brakes really late. Chris keeps it down the inside. That's a great move by Chris on Lee the G, but he's going to come back at him. And he's got some speed here, but he's going to come into the pits. And now Sleppy has a bit of pace. DRS open. They both have DRS, but Sleppy on those new mediums looks to get through, and he will. Into 8th position. And can Chris come back in any way? Maybe a switchback is in order, but not quite on this occasion. Spark is right there watching this battle as well. Wilco and Lee the G into the pits, so their battle might resume soon as well. We'll see what happens there. Zinc getting very close to Cloxon, who went off the track. This is a big chance for Zinc here. He's going to go wheel to wheel into this corner. No, he's going to let him go. And a bit more on the conservative side than some of the other drivers we've seen tonight. But Zinc has driven a solid race here this evening. And FER Riley is 3 seconds behind Al Pacino, so he is currently comfortably in the lead as Toto drops a place to Quaz Quacker there. Vipermon is not too far behind these two, Cloxon and Zinc here. And there's a yellow, I believe that might be... it is Wilco who's stopped on the track. Not too sure what's happened there, but it could be a safety car if he doesn't get moving. He's moving very slowly there. And Zinc now getting very close to Cloxon into the final corner. He gets the DRS advantage here down this straight. Vipermon only 4/10 behind as well. He's going to be looking to pick up the pieces. Zinc gets the DRS open down the main straight. He cut the corner there though. He went off track, which is going to cost him a little bit, but he's going to go around the outside here. Is he going to make a move? Cloxon pinches him and doesn't let him through. Vipermon now right on the back of Zinc here, and we'll see if he can make a move. Cloxon's going to probably try and manufacture something here to get Vipermon past Zinc and try and get Zinc off his back here and relieve some of the pressure. And Zinc now, as Quaz Quacker sets the fastest lap on his new tyres, and Zinc goes off the track, and Vipermon says thank you very much and takes another place, and he's into 5th, and now can chase after Cloxon. And Vipermon's having a great race, the Div 2 ORL driver, and really putting his skills on show this evening, as Zinc has now fallen back a little bit, and Spark up into 9th, and Chris not too far behind either. So we've got a little 3-car battle here going as well. Vipermon's catching up to Cloxon at a rate of knots as well. He's got some serious pace here tonight, and he's only 8/10 back, and Zinc is going to try and get back past. A little mistake had cost him that position on Vipermon, so he won't be too happy about that. Vipermon is now really closing on Cloxon as Spark. Very nice move on Sleppy, it looked to be. Just doesn't quite keep it on the track, but should manage to hang on. And we'll go back to Vipermon here into the final corner. He's going to have the DRS here. Cloxon looks a little bit slow. Can Vipermon blast past here? He'll have the DRS open, and Zinc will be close behind as well. And we'll see how close Vipermon can get. It doesn't look to have much DRS left, but he's Gonna put some pressure on his teammate here and try and get into 4th spot. And he'll just stay behind for the moment as Riley picks up a 3-second penalty. And Skits comes into the pit, so that closes up the gap between the 2 leaders here. Only 5 laps remaining here in the race, and it's 0.2 the difference between Riley and Al Pacino, as Riley has a massive snap there and just hangs onto it. But now Vipermon will go back to once again, who is 4 seconds behind. We'll just take a look at the penalty situation. All the top 7 have them. And Clockson 11 seconds back, so top 3 far and away in the lead at this stage. And ORL looking like they will comfortably win this league versus league battle here. Vipermon now chasing after Clockson. 0.4 the difference. Can Vipermon find a way through here? And this will be for outright 4th as well. No penalties involved. And we'll see how well Vipermon can handle this. He's had a fantastic last few laps here. And 4 laps will remain after this. He's got the DRS open. He's closer than he's been in the last couple outings here. Vipermon going into the final quarter. Gets nice and close to Clockson. And now all the way down the main straight. This would be very impressive. Showing from the Div 2 driver to pass the Div 1 driver in ORL as Vipermon now blasts down the main straight. No defense from Clockson. Vipermon's got some serious pace this evening and he is showing it. He's up into 4th place. Great driving, but Clockson now has a chance to go back at Vipermon here, but thinks better of it, and Zinc now getting very close to Clockson behind as well. So we'll see what Vipermon's got in clear air. He's got 12 seconds to make up on FRT Jordan. It's a tough ask. He's got some good pace, but Vipermon will give it his very best, I'm sure. As we look back up the front, Riley needs a second to gain on Al Pacino if he wants to win this race. But we'll have a look towards Sleppy and Chris here. Sleppy went off the track, and Chris now has an opportunity to make his way through. And we'll see if he can do anything about it. 0.2 the difference here between the 2 drivers here. Sleppy has got the DRS help from Spark, but Chris has got some good speed. A good exit out of that corner. Probably a bit risky to make a move into this corner, and he will refrain at this stage. But he will use that straight to open up the DRS and try and blast past Sleppy here as Clockson gets back past Vipermon. So maybe realising Vipermon doesn't have enough pace, or maybe they're free to battle. Who knows, as Vipermon will now have the DRS open as Wilco picks up another penalty down in 14th. And Vipermon looks to be trying to pressure Clockson for the move here. And there's an ORL driver going slowly, it looks like, further up the road, which has caused a yellow flag. But Vipermon now back behind Clockson in 5th position. Zinc hanging on to the back of them as well, Sleppy and Chris. And if there were to be a late safety car, the drivers from 8th to 11th would be in a very good position without those penalties. So they need to be very careful here, the front drivers. As Jordan is now right on the back of Riley. I think it was him that was going slowly previously. Riley now trying to get past a lap car. And he does. And now Jordan only 0.2 behind Riley. So this is a battle for second here. Oh, Jordan has hit the wall. I think he's avoided damage. Yes, he has. Very fortunate there. But in his attempts to push, as Vipermon now going wheel to wheel with Clockson. And Vipermon gets back through into 4th, but he's gone off the track. Clockson now has some speed and probably will get back past it. Zinc might as well. And there's a bit of a blockade here from the ORL drivers. Zinc trying to find a way through. Clockson gets back past Vipermon. Zinc now trying to get down the inside to make up a place. And has he got it done? He's just inching ahead. But Vipermon's there as well. Vipermon has no ERS left, and Zinc can push through. He doesn't have any ERS either. Vipermon now has the slipstream. He's going to pull out to the inside. And as we go into turn 1, what's Vipermon going to do? He's going to brake late and now get ahead of Zinc. And Zinc's right there, and he's been hit. And he'll lose a bit of time there, Zinc. But all fair in the end there. Zinc saw an opportunity. Vipermon mistake, but couldn't quite hang on to the place there. as we only have 2 laps remaining here at Saudi Arabia. Jordan now dropped back a couple seconds to Riley. So I'm not sure if there is any minor damage there, but he had a serious run at him. But it looks like Riley's going to hang on for second place at this stage. The main battle going on is between 4th, 5th and 6th here. 2 ORLs versus 1 OPSL. That's a retirement for Mickey. Will that bring out a safety car potentially? And it might be a bit late for one, as some drivers come into the pits. And it looks to be just yellows at this stage. And we look as Zink is getting quite close once again to Vipermon. And we are on the second last lap of the race here. And Zink now only 2/10 behind Vipermon. Vipermon's lost a little bit of pace in this last couple of laps after that mistake. And we will see if Zink can make his way through right at the end to get a 5th place here. He's got a little bit, 3 seconds more penalties, but he needs to get through if he wants to make up that time. He's got speed now. Vipermon, will he have the pace to defend it? He's going to do his best here down the main straight. And Zink almost at his back tyre, and he isn't given any room there to make a move. Good defending by Vipermon there, who's just trying to hang on to that 5th position. And now, just sticking behind for the minute as we look back to see the battle between Sleppy and Chris F1, to see if Chris F1 can make up another position here for OPSL. And it doesn't look like to be at the moment. So a night to forget for OPSL at the moment, unless their fortune suddenly changes. Jordan picks up another penalty. But OPSL definitely struggled throughout all the sessions tonight. Qualifying, they got smashed utterly by ORL, besides Jordan, who put up a good fight in second. And ORL just stayed on top the whole race pretty much. They had a great start and they held on to it. And we will begin the final lap of this race here. And ORL will be very happy to come out with a 2nd consecutive victory over OPSL in this league versus league battle. And hopefully there'll be many more to come. And it's been very well worth the entertainment tonight, seeing the best come up against each other. We've had 3 DNFs, and they've all been OPSL drivers, to give, if that gives you any indication on how this race has gone for OPSL. They've just been probably on the wrong side of the luck this evening, as Chris F1 still trying to get past Sleppy down that main straight as well. And we'll look back up to Zink here, who's still closing in on Vipermon to see if he can make a late move down here in this last lap. And he's going to have to wait a little bit until the DRS zone. And Jordan is now wheel to wheel with Riley here. So I'm not sure if Riley's made a mistake, but Jordan now has a big opportunity to get past. Does Riley have damage? I believe he does have damage actually, so could be open for Jordan to get ahead and stay ahead here if he can pull out a gap. But as we look to the lead, Al Pacino rounding the final corner. He had pole position at the start of this race. He has shown off immensely today his skills. He's led every lap of the race, and he crosses the line and wins the ORL versus OPSL race as Jordan gets past Riley at the final corner. Riley is going to get back past at the line. It doesn't matter because of the penalties, but it's going to be an ORL 1-2 finish as Al Pacino and Riley cross the line first and second. Jordan, with a very impressive drive, rounds out the final points podium place as Vipermon gets past at the end ahead of Cloxon. Maybe just giving back that position that was swapped earlier. So Vipermon 4th, Cloxon 5th, Zink in 6th, and then it'll be Chris F1 and Quaz Quacker before Spark in 9th position, I believe. Or it might be Spark in 8th position. And Sleppy will round out the points positions. Incredible race here for ORL. They've gotten a 1-2 finish. They will win this battle comfortably with OPSL. And a very strong showing by many drivers tonight. Very impressive, as Lee the G will be the final driver to cross the line tonight. in 12th position. He has had his fair share of incident, but he crosses the line, and ORL get a resounding victory tonight. And very impressive to see the best of ORL showing up on the big stage this evening. Vipermon, very well-deserved driver of the day, I would have thought. And 4th position goes to him as we have a look at the podium. And it's a great win for Al Pacino. And he'll be very happy with that, showing and making a lot of impressions there on both leagues. He's a force to be reckoned with. But overall, it was a resounding victory to ORL. Thank you for joining us for this special exhibition tonight. Hope you enjoyed watching it. And we will see you tomorrow for the resumption of normal festivities with Div 1 and Div 2. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow.